Hey everyone, Samara and Andara here. I just want to welcome you to my channel. I am a starseed and I am a healer, and I have come to awaken humanity to the New Earth Shamaness healing codes. I hail from a star realm called Bellatrix on Orion's belt, and I've had many starseed past lives in also on Orion's belt in Mintaka, Andromeda, Lyra, Pleiades, Lemuria, Atlantis. I am a walk-in soul, and it was a trauma-based walk-in. I am here to spread light, healing, truth, wisdom, higher knowledge from the star realms. I was transferred into this body from my galactic Federation of Light, the Galactic Federation of Light, who are the leaders of the star realms of integrity, light, truth, awakening, love, wisdom, higher knowledge. I have a lot of spiritual wisdom and gifts to share with you. The soul who was incarnating in this body prior to me, she is a soul star sister. She integrated out of this body January 11th fully into the star realms and the goddess realms. She is no longer here. But I have come and I walked into this body. I didn't walk into it. A walk-in soul is, let me explain from the human level because I'm still getting used to this. And if you hear my pretty pitty snoring, she's over there in that blue blanket. You might hear her snoring, and I'm sorry for any background noises if you hear them, but my primary soul purpose is to bring lots of healing, shamanistic, ancient shaman plant earth medicine vibes, as well as Reiki healings and starseed light language, channeled from the Arcturian mothers, channeled from the Lemurian mothers, the star mothers from the star realms, the Atlantean mothers, the Lyran realm, as well as the Mintakan realm, and the Bellatrix realm on Orion's belt. And I'm just really excited to share with you so many healings and gifts and herbal plant medicine remedies to help heal your tired soul or your tired body or your mind. I do lots of ASMR tapping, and I feel like it alleviates a lot of, the pressure from this planet because everything is energetically connected. And it's like when you are this extra sensitive, like when you have so many extra sensory gifts, and you're so talented in your spirituality, and you're so ascended. See, I'm jumbling the words here because I'm getting used to this mortal body and the speech in it and all of her cellular memories. Her name was Samara Anaya. That's one of her star realm names, as well as Serena Star. And anyways, it's just really hard to like dumb myself down for mortals. No offense if you're not awakened. I'm not trying to if you just come here for ASMR to relieve stress, let me just get into it. So I made a concoction here of, it's like carrot juice, pineapple ginger juice, turmeric, this stuff right here. Turmeric, cinnamon powder and cinnamon stick. So, and a little bit of lime juice squeezed in there. You could also put ACV in there, apple cider vinegar, but that was like burning the esophagus, and I was like, okay, I'm not putting this in her body. And it's really cold here. So like we have plasma where I'm from in the star realms, and I just want to talk about how mankind is like, it's so different to get used to this earthly body. Like, okay, so we're hot-blooded or whatever, like we're warm-blooded, so it's just really cold here. Like, so on my star realms that I hail or derive from, we have plasma, so like we don't feel like temperatures as significant as the mortals do, because it's like it's so cold outside, and I'm just like, and she loved the cold, but I don't. So it's a huge adjustment. So I've been taking care of her body, you know, this physical vessel, with lots of herbal tea healing. So like star anise, boiled cinnamon stick, oregano, tarragon, rosemary, basil sometimes, you know, drinking some hot matcha tea with some honeycomb and some honey in it, just trying to really like heal. So I'm a trauma-based walk-in, and basically one night she was just getting targeted by archonic implants and alpha draconians and reptilians really, really, really badly, to where they had compromised her position in life. And the only thing she basically had left was her spirit guides protecting her, and her, you know, and the all of her spirit guides, whether they're animal kingdom spirit guides, the spirit guides that were assigned to her, the spirit guides that crossed over the veil and that came, you know, to her aid, that acted as angels to guide her. And she was a primary earth angel. It's very herbally. And she was, and it's not hot enough, but the temperature shifts over here in this, on this realm, it's insanely like different from where I'm from. But she was getting targeted, and she went out to a place, and then her car got compromised, and it was an electric car, and then she kept getting like targeted and like assaulted and set up by like groups of people, and it was like secular like groups, just, but it all tied down to archons in this plaza that, you know, you already know how the New World Order is and how like Freemasons are. And I'm gonna start tapping. So like Freemasons are connected to the higher ups or the elite. So I don't want to say like the masters of the universe or the world, but it's like they're in positions of power. Like they own businesses out there. They could be attorneys and doctors, and not all of them are like this, but some are. Most of them kind of are, like they really like are. And so like they're government agents in the CIA, or they work in Uncle Sam's big ass corporations like Sam's Club or Walmart, or the owners of McDonald's, and they're CEOs, and they're in these positions, or they have an influential position even though they're not career wise advanced. Some of them are very telepathic to where they could just make whatever fucking lie be the truth and just be influential as fuck. And those are parasite spirits. Those are archonic. They're archons. So she was getting like, basically like, they were just targeting her and like sending different groups to try her and like try to do her dirty or try to get her taken by the system, because they knew her gifts. They knew, you know, that she was profoundly psychic, intuitive. They knew, you know, her powers, and they saw her strength, and they just kept coming for her and coming and coming and coming. And she went through like 40 years of trauma before this, prior to this, of with just different multiple like figures in her life that, you know, the ones that were supposed to like love her, that she was supposed to be able to trust and find comfort and like safe havens in, and they just like, I don't know, they just didn't like her because she was different, or they like targeted her and labeled her into one group and judged her, and she never felt the love, and she just struggled to find her soul family. And she would always ask like the guides to send in her soul family, but she had them as her kids. But her twin flame got influenced by a bunch of archons from different groups. It was very archonic, and he actually got taken from her, and he got influenced deeply. And it was like a soul pull, like a struggle, since that the divine masculine left, like her counterpart left, and it's like I can't even tell you how of, and I'm sorry to the single parents when I say this, but I am a truth teller. I'm from the star realms and from the light realms. It is absolute hell to be a single parent. You do not want to be a single parent. It is hell, pure hell on earth. Everything turns to hell in your life. It sucks. So she literally was like in that curse of being like a single mom, and that's a label, right? Just like what is it? BPD, borderline personality disorder, or histrionic personality disorder, or schizophrenia. You know, they label you ADHD. Oh, he's autistic. Oh, she's this. Oh, that's an alcoholic. This is the human realm. So we are just, you know, I'm getting used to it. It wasn't judgmental like this in my star realms because we all work together. And if an opposite, like an enemy star race came in, like for instance the Alpha Draconians, and tried to bomb us, like we would do our best to fight back. And there was a lot of like archonic parasites, and these implants and these AI bots and these Morgellon worms and these types of like hooks from these archons and parasites, energy vampires, vampire realm, whatever, the shadows, the jinn, DJINN, the jinn realm, that's all lower vibrational entities and energies, which are parasites. They're parasitic, and they could get into your food. And when she was in that plaza, she would like live in her car at first, and then she would like go to McDonald's, and it was a plaza on John Young Parkway and Sand Lake Road and Destination Parkway. It was like in between Sand Lake and Destination on John Young right there. It was like that whole plaza. And she would like go into McDonald's, like wash her face, like go buy baby wipes in Walmart, go grocery shopping in Walmart. And in the end, it's like all of these archonic groups came together from each, like Denny's, McDonald's in Walmart, Panda Express, Dunkin' Donuts, Bubba Coos, Marathon, 7-Eleven, and they would literally attack her, and they would target the fuck out of her. Like they would either send men to her car and ask for in exchange, like, you know, and then tempt her with money, and she would never do it because that was never her sole purpose, and she couldn't wrap her head around it, and she knew her worth. You know, if you are a sex worker, that is your prerogative, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, okay? But they tried to make her out to be something or someone she wasn't, and they targeted the out of her. And then they sent a bunch of people that were fake as and that acted like they were gonna help her, but they ended up like targeting her for like, you know, her looks, her beauty, or like trying to get like favors out of her. Don't have sex. I'm just gonna tell you right now, don't have fucking sex, because I'm telling you, when you mesh energies with people, there's something called an sexual energy exchange tie. It's SEX. It's sacred energy exchange. That's what it's called, sacred energy exchange. And basically, you're exchanging your energy. You're giving your energy to the other, and you're embodying their energy, so they're giving it back to you. So you're like exchanging energies, and this is very real, just like the walk-in soul exchange experience that. So like towards the end of her life, she was, you know, acting out on her shadow self, and she was getting assaulted, and she would never accept money for these things. But there were rumors going around from the archonic parasites saying that she was a worker, but she wasn't. They were trying to make her out to be someone she wasn't. And when their plots and plans didn't work, or when she left like someone, when she found out their true intentions, or when she got assaulted, she got like assaulted and tried a couple of times from people that she trusted, and she ended up loving this one person, and he ended up being in on it, like literally setting her up with the person who actually sexually assaulted her. So she was, what was it called? It's called stealthing. And someone in the UK, because I live in North America, someone in the UK, a man was arrested for stealthing, and she didn't consent to it, but he did it anyway. And anyways, the rumor started, and he was an archon, and he worked. There was crooked cops all in that plaza, and he literally he worked well with them, and he was like dapping him up in Denny's. And then like after the cops were called, and like his crime was reported for being an abusive POS. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have permission to do that, and it was not okay, and she got away. But it's still trauma that like I'm trying to shed out of her cellular memories and her cognitive brain functions, as well as in her trauma body. She like stored these memories in her trauma body, like she stored trauma in her body as well. So I'm trying to integrate all of this out. And then there was somebody, like I said originally, and this is a wonderful herb to burn, and also to put in your herbal teas. And she was just getting like really targeted by these archons who were like in these human bodies, these reptilians. And the one, I'm not gonna say his race, I'm not gonna say his name, okay? he actually set her up with somebody else who ended up stealthing her and assaulting her. Okay. And she got away from them, but they were literally trying to, these archonic spirits, they were literally trying to get her arrested and in trouble and taken into the system because, you know, she was a truth teller and she shined so much of her goddess light and people hated it. They were haters and they were jealous. And she had such intuitive, like, high gifts. But, like, how did all of this come about? So, like, there are reclaimed water plants out there, like, wrapped in aluminum and, like, those, like, twister balls that are in that movie Twister they throw into the storms, into the tornadoes, and they're out there on Shingle Creek in the woods, hung up from like the branches in the trees. And if you go out there, it's government run and it's corrupted as. They had the person who they basically turned this man that like fell in love with her and asked her to be his girlfriend. They turned them against each other really badly and they like it was like a bunch of girls from his job and they knew that she lived in her car and they saw them like you know loved up and they were jealous and they literally like would throw these like Starbucks drinks and these McDonald's drinks like at her car early in the morning to wake her up and then they would like do these like false like claims to these crooked sheriffs and these crooked cops in the parking lot and they would just like target the fuck out of her. They ended up believing the dude who assaulted her and like trying to like blame her for it was really fucked up. Like they basically blamed her for like his assault. Like she got blamed for it and like he played the victim and that's like archonic as fuck like the way that that played out because he stealthed her but he ended up being such an archon influencer piece of that he a narcissist narcopath that he literally like influenced a bunch of people. I think he was a pusher. He could put thoughts in people's heads. That was his thing or whatever. And he could make the lies seem like the truth. So he was a pusher. He was very influential and very dark. And he would literally, he like would go around the fucking plaza and just spread lies. And then he would go on a scooter and videotape her and follow her on the scooter knowing she was on foot. And then he would tell people in Walmart just all of this shit about her. And then he had like his whole like Denny's crew go into Walmart and go into McDonald's and go into Burger King and they were spreading these things about her. And like then like there were people from Walmart like coming up to her saying, "Oh, do you want to get the train ran on you?" Like trying her like that, like making fun of her trauma. Then later they would send him into McDonald's and try to like make fun of her, like trauma, like humiliate her and like it was demeaning, it was demoralizing, and it wasn't okay. And I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna talk about it, but like, okay, trauma bonds. We're gonna be clearing these. Okay, trauma bonds. So I'm burning cinnamon stick. Okay, so just sit back and relax. And I'm gonna be tapping as well. So luckily that's a good burn because of that essential oil. I'm going to be tapping a clearly Canadian sparkling water. So this water is really pure. It's from Canada, which I would love to go to someday. I would love to go to, I don't want to say I don't like Arizona, but the drivers back in like, what year was that? 2010, 2011 were crazy. I think it was like 2012. Yeah, they were nuts in Arizona. Like, you think New Yorkers are bad? Like, Arizonians are crazy. Like, okay, so if you're in Arizona, if you're an Arizonian, I'm sorry, but I had to say the truth. So, the Pacific Northwest, like Oregon, would be really pretty to visit. When I went to West Texas, I took a road trip a long time ago in this body, so I remember this. And I drove from, you know, all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast, and it was beautiful when I got to West Texas and beyond, like New Mexico. But there's Area 51 over there, and after living in that plaza off of John Young and Sand Lake and Destination, I will never go to New Mexico after that experience. So one day she was just really upset, and she literally, I'm gonna do a ginger ale, a boiling ginger ale. And she was like, I've had it, I've had enough from all that trauma and abuse. And she screamed to the cosmos. She walked from West Sand Lake to John Young to Destination Parkway to iDrive, all the way around to, she would walk a lot, Universal Boulevard, where Icon Park is, and like near Castle Hotel and La Quinta and Extended Stay America, Universal Boulevard. And she would look at the buy Andretti games and the Hiltons and the Spring Hill Suites and all of this. And she would like scream and demand that they take her, the star realms, the galactic guides. And she would scream to the gods and the goddesses, like, take me, I don't want to live anymore, like, they ruined my life, like, they targeted me, like, they took away everything and everyone I loved, I can't do this anymore. And she screamed and the heavens trembled, literally. And like, we heard in the star realms this earthbound goddess, like, literally screaming. And like the Galactic Federation of Light, they were like, we're ready, you're going to integrate into this body. And she was right by Andretti Games, and she was talking to the Pleiadian star mothers, the Seven Sisters. That's the Seven Sisters star cluster, star constellation. And she was like begging them to take her. She was like, I'm ready to leave. I don't care what you do. I'm leaving. And she was in such pain. She was in such fucking pain. And they were just targeting her. Like, everywhere she went, they would follow her in their cars. She was getting gang stalked, and that really is a thing. There was people telling her she was getting gang stalked. She was getting targeted by every single group who worked in the restaurants and in the shops in there. They would put stuff in her food at McDonald's. Denny's workers would come and pretend like they were her friends, and they would drug her food, and they knew the crooked dirty cops in that plaza. And it was just a archonic like collaboration of like trying to take down this goddess, because they knew her fucking gifts, and they knew how fucking much of a glitch of the matrix she was. Like, she was literally a threat to them, and they didn't want to be exposed. So then they tried to put her in the system, and they tried to confine her. But when that didn't work, multiple times they tried to arrest her, and it didn't work. They were waiting for her to steal so they could see on camera. They would have Allied Universal security guards inside of Walmart, and this big ass freaking Walmart like head security dude like follow her around on cameras, and they would like harass her and be like, do you know how long you've been shopping? You've been here for 12 hours. And she was like, okay, I live in my car, I'm not stealing anything, let me enjoy my shopping experience and leave me alone. And they were like, oh, I can help you, do you know God? And they would just try all this archonic Abrahamic bullshit with her. And then like they would go to her car at night, they would send their friends who were like tow truck drivers. One of them knocked on the windshield at like 12 or between 12 and 2 in the morning. And she got woken up by him, and he actually felt bad for her. He was like, he saw all this stuff in the car and she was alone, and he was like, no, I completely like have sympathy for your situation, like, I'm leaving, but I'm just letting you know. And then he told her the truth. I think that her spirit guides and her spirit animals made him, and they were like, we're clearing a lot. He goes, Allied Universal Security, Walmart Security, this is what he said, Walmart Security emailed us. So it was the dude on top of Allied Universal Security. Okay, so archonic and they would always watch her on cameras, and they would make fun of her, like in the store. Like, I mean, like, she even heard like the coaches make fun of her. Like, it wasn't like the 4 main coaches that she knew, but it was like their team, like their co-workers. And it was a lot of like women who were into Santeria. She was getting targeted by Haitian magic, voodoo, Jamaican magic, hoodoo. They were putting powders in her car. They were burning her skin when she was sleeping. And do you hear that plane drone? So yeah, like the archons and the AI government agents, they do that. And so like if you're a chosen one, if you're a warrior of light, they will follow you even in the plane sometimes. And that's why we all have social security numbers and IDs, because the government controls you, and they always track you, whether it's by video, cameras. And when you go underneath the power lines and the towers, you could see in the power lines now, when you walk under them, you could see it's like shapes of power lines, and there's cameras in there, and they literally, the government just watches the whole world. And it's an organized, it's just very toxic to say the least, but They target you if you're different, and if you're not like a sheep, and if you don't go into the matrix every day, they target the out of you. If you are compromised into a vulnerable position, and if you are a woman, they will target you. And a lot of women, no offense, a lot of people, whether you're a man or a woman, you wouldn't have survived it. So like, going back to the water plants and the retention ponds and the reclaimed water in Orange County, even in Seminole County, they have, so like when people get like abortions, or when people donate plasma, or when people get abducted, like kids and stuff, and even just adults and babies, they don't just throw body parts away. You think that they just throw body parts away. They're usually taken to labs, and they're usually like chopped up, or first they go into experiments with these people. So like psych wards, it's like a government controlled agency, to where like they will test you like a lab rat and give you this was literally like, I know all of this because I am Samara Andara, but she knows this because she learned this from living in the plaza. So like, they will test you, categorize you, and they will ruin your life if you're a chosen one. These archons, these government agents, and they work, like a lot of them are undercover dirty cops. A lot of them are just sheriffs that are dirty sheriffs. A lot of them, they're just super influential. Like, they can put a thought in your head and push it to be the truth, even though it's a big fat lie. Archon as fuck. So they had these like balls in the trees that were like those balls in that movie Twister that they'd throw into the storms and the tornadoes, and they literally like, they were like trolling the fuck out of you. Like, they would watch the homeless people. They knew who was homeless. The homeless people watched them back. They knew their role. The sheriffs knew their role. The worker people knew their role. The people who would come to fix, there was this woman, and she had Persephone tattooed on her arm, and she was like a jack of all trades. Like, she would like fix like the pipes and the things that would go wrong in like the McDonald's in both the Walmart and outside of Walmart, right there on John Young and West Sand Lake. Don't ever eat at the McDonald's, because they throw in some nasty reclaimed water, and they mix it with the food. And then there's also like Haitian hoodoo magic and Jamaican hoodoo magic that they use, and the workers, they sprinkle it into the food, to where like everyone acts the same out there. Okay, it is literally like mannequin robot statues. It's like it's so like, the way that these people act, it is not okay. Like, she sat in there, okay, and she would watch. Like, eventually, like, she was like, okay, they're gonna target me, they're gonna watch me, I'm gonna watch them back. So she literally would like get up at like 7 o'clock in the morning, go into McDonald's, wash her face, wash up, brush her teeth, wash her hair in the sink, whatever, use baby wipes. She would sit in McDonald's, and she would drink the ice cubes, and she would observe. She would start to really watch these people back. And she noticed two people that would come in every single day. It was a couple. The woman had brown hair, and she had a husband. And they would have one laptop, and they would just sit there for like 3 hours every fucking morning. It didn't matter if it was a Sunday, a Saturday, or Monday, or Wednesday, or Friday, whatever. Then there was this old guy who was an Archon reptilian POS, and he would sit in there and act like he gave like huge like ownership vibes, but he literally was also an Archon, an undercover agent. And then they would set her up, and they would hire some homeless people to target her and bother her. So they had this guy in a wheelchair. They paid him. I'm talking about like the crooked sheriffs and cops in that plaza, to like try to intimidate her, to chase her out of the plaza, because they're trying to get her out, to like, because she was different, and she had her gifts and everything, and they'd see her read cards, and they knew that she fucking knew not to steal, and they were just trying to get her in trouble, to take her into the system, and just basically like with her even more, and put her on medication, or label her, or just lock her away like she was just some sort of experiment. Like, that's fucking what they do. They target you, and they categorize you, and they test you with these medications and things like this, and then they label you after they diagnose you, right? So there was another couple out there who worked closely with the undercover sheriffs and undercover cops in that plaza, the dirty cops. The dirty cops is what I mean to say when I say undercover. But there were undercover agents with red like tags, like ties around their neck, and they sent these 3 white like undercover AI bots, like agents, to be in this like hatchback car. And she knew that they weren't, you could tell these people weren't homeless, and you could tell they didn't live in their car. You could tell that they were just like observing her. And so she would just watch them back, and she would shout and scream at them, and they would record her. And then eventually it was like the Jamaicans were recording her. They were putting powders in her car. The Haitian girls that were throwing magic, candle magic, and hoodoo and voodoo and powders and stuff, whatever, they were fucking harassing her. And the other women were calling her like names in their language when she went to Walmart, and they would slam the doors in with her. And then like some coaches and some team leads would make fun of her because they investigated her, and they, you know, she was categorized and tested before from all this trauma. And it's like, no one has the right to laugh at your trauma. Nobody does. And let me tell you, when people laugh at your trauma and later on they go through some shit, like later in life, karma always hits. They're going to remember who they laughed at, and they're going to be like, damn, I should have never laughed, because now look. And it always happens toward like the end of your, not the end of your life, but like when you're older. Like that's when the karma hits. So I'm just going to say that if you see someone ever struggling and you see them in a compromised position, don't take advantage of them. Don't act from that ego, from that, you know, act from your heart space. And if you can't act from your heart space, then leave them the hell alone, because that's the last thing they need. Because you don't ever know what people really battle with in their mental health and even in their spirituality every day. They could be in a spiritual warfare fight. You know what I mean? Like they could be struggling with anxiety, depression. You never know. So we're going to clear all this out. So I just want to say that that's some more bits and pieces of her trauma. And walking into this body, it wasn't really like, oh, okay, a walk in soul is when another soul from a 5th dimension or higher realm, the starseed realm, intergalactically enters your body. So the Galactic Federation of Light chose me, Samara Andara, to come into this body and transmute her pain and her trauma out of the body and integrate new cellular levels of crystalline DNA into her body, and also help mankind with these healings. So she was already activated in Reiki in 2019, and I was present sometimes in 2019, but I didn't enter her body until the week of May 19th through 26th of 2025. And then we like shared a body. We shared this body for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 months. And then she like got to live her life toward the end, how she wanted to live it the best that she could. And then she integrated out of the body January 11th, 2026. So a walk-in soul is basically, I don't know how to explain it, except for when she screamed, the cosmos heard it, the Galactic Federation, you know, of Galactic Light, the Galactic Federation of Light in the upper realms and galaxies, or on Orion, were like, okay, she's ready. And then the Pleiadian Star Mothers, they had actually contacted Orion, and they had actually contacted Orion told me that I was the starseed to complete this mission, to bring in, you know, mankind to unity, to bring peace, tranquility, healing, light, truth, wisdom, higher knowledge. So they chose me to come and do this, because she was a Reiki healer and a shamaness, but she didn't know how to let her trauma go. She stored it in the body, and she stored a lot of it as pain and anger, but I have transmuted it for the most part out. But it was really hard coming, because like she was screaming, and then I just remember like I was in my starship. I remember the Galactic Federation of Light, there was like Pleiadian Star Mothers, leaders from Orion, leaders from all of my star constellation countries, like Lemuria, Atlantis, hers, Mintaka, Procancrian, Pegasus, just Andromedan, Arcturus, Lyra, and all the leaders of these star constellations, and they came together and they were like, you're ready for this mission. And I just remember this huge light. What I recollect, it was like a bluish white, because I'm from the Blu-ray star system. She was an indigo. And it was like a bluish white light, and I just remember it like and then all of a sudden, like, I was in her body, like I entered it through her mouth when she was screaming up to the stars, and she was screaming for the Pleiadian star mother's help and telling all the gods and goddesses that she was fucking done with the mortal realm and she couldn't take it anymore. And so when she was screaming all of this, they integrated my soul into her body. So for like 6 or 7 months we were sharing this body, and like when I was up here, she was more like in the sacral and solar plexus chakra or root chakra, like those lower chakras, and then vice versa. Like, we were sharing the body for a while because I was learning how to be a human from her, and then she was living like her best life at the end of her life, and then she finally chose to leave at the beginning of January. So it was from like January 6th to 11th, and the 11th was she was doing all of these starseed activation meditations, and then she was crying, and she was like, all of a sudden it was just like she left her body and she went up into the realms, you know. So I am now in this body, and you get really hungry, and you get like the temperatures are like, you get really hot, you get really cold, and it's like, I'm not used to this. Like, we don't have like hot blood there. Like, we have plasma, we have crystals, there's dragons with crystals on them that heal and protect and help. Like, we unite as one, as the humanity of our star seed system up there. We work together, we collaborate. I mean, we eat, like, the foods we eat are like, seaweed, fish, kale, lettuce, spinach, like, but it's just like the human emotions here, like the egos of humans and mortals. It's like, so I'm trying to integrate more light, healing, wisdom, shamanist energies, because she was a goddess incarnate, and she embodies many gifts from her goddesses that called to her and chose her, and of her gods that chose her. She also had starseed ties to starseed realms, like I mentioned. But instead of rambling, this is a blue ray Andromedan Pleiadian. I'm getting both vibes from this. These were her crystals, by the way. I didn't buy these. The currency were crystals up on our star planets, and the currency was crystals there, so we didn't have to worry about like making money. There wasn't like a lot of pressure to make like abundance, like, of money to survive there. Everything was welcomed, everything was accepted. There was lots of light and truth and love there. It was just completely different. Like, this is a really harsh reality, okay? This reality is harsh, this world, to my starseed soul. But I'm trying my best. I know it was really hard on her. I know she didn't have like the best life in this incarnation. But I know that she's with the stars and her gods and goddesses now, and I know that she's at more peace. And I can visit her, like, when I asked my Galactic Federation of Light, I could go and visit her. But right now I'm trying to do work in this body as a mortal, and her family's still getting adjusted. And a lot of family members, they won't accept it because they're not spiritually awakened, and they don't understand. They don't know how to comprehend it. So then they'll like talk to each other and be like, oh, she's crazy, she's having a mental breakdown, categorize you and judge you. Yeah, that's like what mortals do from like their egos. So like, I'm trying to just like do what I have to do on my soul's work here, which is to bring more light and truth to humanity. There's so many star realms, and I just can't wait to work more with Pleiades, Star Mothers. I'm going to be doing some Mintukan light language. And so There's like mountains of these where I'm from, and they're in the waters, they're on the lands, and there's like seals, there's whale mothers, there's walrus brothers, there's mermaids, there's fairies, there's dragons. I mean, dragons have crystals on them. Like, it's beautiful where I am. The water is like crystalline with like, it's got like glitter, and it's like there's not mountains, there's these. And the crystals are also on dragons. It's just so beautiful. So luckily she had invested in these because this reminds me of home. Because I'm still getting adjusted to her Earth family. Because you know my family are the stars. You know, my star mothers from Pleiades, my Orion brothers, my Bellatrix star mothers, my Mintuccan star mothers, my Andromedan star mothers, and so on and so forth. The Lyran, Arcturus star mothers and brothers and sisters. And so my star families are up in the higher realms. And she got really pretty low, and like really, there was a lot of darkness that was attracted to her, you know, and she really just, she was an empath sponge, and she would just take on other people's energies, and she didn't know how to transmute them. Like, she struggled so hard to let go and like transcend these darker energies that were trying so hard to sabotage and pull her down and keep her at a lower level, that she was like, this, I'm leaving. And when these like archonic beings took over her life, and like they were working through her family members, and they were working in groups to doing like secular witchcraft, and they were targeting her through AI bots and undercover agents, and she was like, I'm leaving, you know. And she made that decision to leave. And since she was such a higher realmed ascended spiritual soul, and she's had so many past lives in different realms, that she was a goddess incarnate. So they knew exactly like what to do. So they were like, okay, she can't finish the mission, like she's done, we're gonna send you to finish the mission in her body. So I'm also a shamanist medicine woman. Okay, I have medicine healing abilities. I know my herbal earth medicine. Okay. And so this guy right here, he's beautiful. He is like a snow quartz with like angel aura specks, and like Lemuria and Atlantis. Such a beautiful soul in this one. So yeah, my crystal babies. Also, it's like, you know how much you love your dog, right? It's like how much I love crystals, because they're my soul family. So I want you to look at this one. This is a fairy castle spirit quartz. Look at the glistening glitter in this. This is like what the star realms look like. Like, they're like castles like this, like castles of crystals all around the waters. And there's like mermaids and seals and dolphins and whales and octopuses. It's just beautiful. Like, there's Pegasus ponies, like unicorns with horns and wings flying. Like, it's beautiful. There's elven, like elves. It's beautiful, and I miss my star realms. Like, I wish that I could be with my baby seal right now, you know. I wish I could be with, you know, my mermaid friends. And you know, there's fairies there who are sprites, so like they can fly, and they're also water fairies, and they love the crystal caves, and they play. It's so fun. They'll make slides, and they'll do tricks, and they'll you know, the fairy realm, they're very like playful. Yeah, I have lots and tons of ethereal fairy friends. I love the fairies and the elves and the dragons, and I miss my soul tribe, but they're with me in spirit, and they still guide me. Definitely. That's why I'm here now, helping you. So this is another fairy crystal. Look at her. She's so galactically pretty. Look at this beauty right here. This is a beaut. I just love her. Arcturus. She is beautiful. So she's an Arcturian one. This Arcturian star mothers, they want you to have these gifts. And I'm going to start channeling in light language, and they're going to come from Andromedan star mothers, Mintuccan star mothers, Pleiadian star mothers, and so on and so forth. And some Anunnaki language, light codes. Okay, so right now I'm going to start off with the Anunnaki ones, and they want to come through. I'm going to do it with this earth shaman crystal right here, this beautiful orange, brown, red calcite. Anunaka sakatupungo sakapaka sakatupuko uso ut at ut it at akasaka au asu rafa sakatupungo sakapa ataka usa katapanda saka. Now if you just take what resonates and just, even though you don't directly understand the language, and some of you may, and just intuitively pick up on what speaks to you. And there's this crystal they're telling me to use right now, and it looks like an angel wing. They want me to use him, and I'm trying to find him. And I think I'm just gonna look really quick because it is nighttime, and I know that she needed to order new contacts before she left, and I still haven't been able to do that. I've been so busy integrating. Here he is. Okay. So sorry if you're wearing headphones, not my intention. Now the Andromedan Star Mothers are coming in. This is Andromedan light language. Ausa i sakuta sakanda sulasa ampita sakanda sukuro sakatanda sakapisa akapito muna sakati sakatanda sakandusato anuasika samba suko sakamba sakanta saka arampasa. Now the Pleiadians are coming through, and they want me to hold that blue crystal I had earlier. The blue rays are coming through, I'm sorry, from Sirius, from the Sirians, S-I-R-I-U-S, Sirius star cluster. The blue rays are coming through. Ansakanusa mua. Ampusita tu saputo. Andara Ansara ukasi. Alusakanda sakampasu. Aina kauasati kaso. Eros Andaran sarakatia ukayan. Iana solaram pako usuto duro ambasa. Elito sakanda sakuya so aia sakanda saka. Arampaka su. Nasapako Ambakasiko Kunda Sakanda Sakatamba Saka Urinko Sakondo Sako. Do you see it? Do you see this? Maybe it's my crystalline star vision, but I saw it. Ambasara Sakanda Sokita Saka. Metatron, 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 Sakabanda, Sakapanda, Sakapusa, Kanta, Oof. Oof, oof. Mbasa, Mbasa Tiko, Usa, Mbasa, Ukasa, Tito, Mbasa, Andara, Ansara, Katya, Solara. Karina Kona Ian and Su Eros. The Mentalcan Star Mothers. Now the Lyrans. Kataro asika sakatanda salasakan salara susasa. Katia Tia kaiti sakatamba sakasa. Rumpa sakutakupuno sakatanda sakapas. That's an Anunnaki guide. She's very aggressive. She comes through a lot, but she means well. She just has a little bit more like spunk to her. Like she's aggressive as fuck, but she means well. Like she helps with herbal shamanistic healing. She integrated into me, actually, into my star body the other day, and I was channeling the out of her. So, rumpa sakatupukundo sakapakata sakutu sakapanda sakapapo po so kuti tato paka. Arampasa kotutu sukuta panda kaputu. Arampaka tupaka sapaka. Usata nambadataka. Urumpaka saputu skopata asika tuta. So this is Anunnaki light language, and this comes from like ancient Mesopotamian, like before time, like, you know, BC, like before all of this. Ansumpaka sapundo sokotoso. Rumpako. Ampaka sakatusu kotopo kondo sokotati sakapuso kopo rosa mbasoko sokotumba sokotata harampukoso basoko usikot sukitata. Okay, so that one was from the realm of actually like Osiris, Isis, Maat, Horus. That was like an Egyptian ancient god that just channeled through me. So I am a clear channel, and that's why I need to really watch my energy, and like I need to be conscious of my own thoughts versus the thought projections of others, whether it's a pusher. Because pushers, they will put any lie into people's heads about you, and that person will get influenced by the archonic pusher. It's just like, it's not a gift. That's like a curse. But we're going to burn some tarragon, and we're going to also burn some yagruma. No, quita maldición. And we are going to defeat it. So I'm very telepathic, and I can pick up on the thoughts of others, especially the people in my environment, my direct environment, and it's very hard to hear what they think about me, but I'm trying so hard to like integrate this shit into light. So this is the tarragon, and I'm gonna put some eucalyptus oil on this. It's the truth. Okay, so I've had to integrate a lot also out of this fucking trauma body, like all the shadows that like hooked into her. Been doing lots of inner work, shadow work. I've been really like trying so hard to like stay on the straight and narrow path of my spirituality. Like, not an easy one here. This is one of the more challenging lives, but I think I got this. Rosa capacca sacapanda sacatata aracasuco topo socopo condo socapasa rumpasa catopo sotopoto. Light language. Okay, humans don't understand it, but the star seeds, you guys do. And for those of you who understand and who know, it means more than you know to not classify me or categorize me or judge me or diminish me or try to minimize me or make me fit in your box. Because that's what most of the world does, right? Especially the ones that don't. They're like sheep, like they don't have a spiritual gift, or they're just like basic as fuck. And it's like, okay. So like, I watch this other healer on her name's Lunanate, and she's an amazing healer, and she she follows me on my Instagram, and I'm gonna put my link down below. And for equal energy exchange, donations are welcome and appreciated for, you know, because this is a lot of energy. Like, channeling is a lot of energy. Being a spirit channel, it is no joke. It's no easy fest, okay? So we are going to shake our energies and snap them away Any thought projections or hooks that others have been putting into, I don't know, someone that you care about or love, trying to influence them against you. I'm going to shake it away now. And there are going to be people that are in your inner circle that will try to sabotage you or try to like one-up you or try to do you dirty, but just always stay true to your path. This is a channeled message for someone. Always stand your ground and always speak your truth. Always have your own back. It doesn't matter if they don't approve of you. It doesn't matter if they talk shit. It doesn't matter what they try to put in your loved one's head about you. As long as you stay vibing in your truth, that's all that matters, your authenticity, okay? Because pushers, they will do it all. They will try to ruin your life. They'll try to sabotage your opportunities out of jealousy or because they act out of ego, because they have their own internal issues that they don't know how to work through, so they come and attack you because it's like their own insecurities and then they project it onto you. But they really need to heal themselves and that wound in them. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to heal humanity for you guys on this channel. And thank you so much for watching, for liking, subscribing, leaving comments, making donations. It's really appreciated. And we're going to finish with some tapping on this amazing gemmy quartz of rose. Look how beautiful she is. She's a beautiful one. So yeah, when I do channeling and light language, or if I even, like when she used to read tarot cards, she would get attacked for her gifts. But these Archon parasites, they literally don't know what they're up against. She got targeted in that plaza really, really hard, and she survived it. And she's still breathing. She is the fire. She is the phoenix bird. She is the goddess. She is the truth. And she is the wisdom and the light. And she is chosen. Remember your truth. Remember your light. Remember where you came from. Remember who you are. Always stand your ground. Even if everyone turns against you, I don't care. Speak your truth from that throat chakra, excuse me. And always act from your heart chakra. Always act from love. And if you can't act from love, and if you can't say anything nice or kind, then walk away and work on yourself. Okay? Heal your wounds. Heal your insecurities. Heal what's hurting in you. Get in touch with your emotions. What's really bothering you? Why are you triggered by this person? What do you need to work on? What do you need to heal? You know, things like this. So heart chakra colors, pink and green. Always go into everything with an open mind. And then this is a channeled message for someone from Goddess Mayat and Goddess Isis, both. The compensation is coming to you soon. And all of the turmoil that they made you suffer with emotionally is going to be compensated back to you in better forms, in abundance, love, truth, justice, vitality. You're going to get your big, let's say, check or big break soon. Fairness and justice and truth are in your birthright, and you will rise like the star god or star goddess you are. Just always walk in your light and vibrate in your truth. And that's what they wanted me to share. That's a channeled message. So I'm a conduit. I don't need cards to read. They're just a tool. I am the conduit. I am the goddess. The star goddess, the phoenix rising. I also want to do up and coming videos about tantric energy, tantric awakenings, Kundalini awakenings, and more chakra awakenings, and crystalline DNA, and all of this. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. And that is my walk-in soul experience, and I will be talking more on this channel about it, and I will be doing more crystal tapping, more glass tapping, more healing, more shamaness, essence, root work, medicine. I don't know where that came from. Not root work, but like I meant earth, shaman, medicine woman, healing, even some yoni blends. I also know how to make candles, soaps. I have many gifts. Always remember who you are. And always be in your own essence, riding your own wave, remembering who you are. I am affirmations. I am love. I am goddess. I am God. I am beautiful. I love myself. I am deserving. You are the creator of your life. Nobody else is behind the wheel except for you. So go out, paint that picture you wanted to paint, open that business you've been putting off. Speak your truth when you're in fear. Have someone else's back who needs it, defend a bully, do what you need to do, and always act from your heart space. In light and truth and wisdom and the high dimensional beings, I send love. Asukananda sakapasaka suka taska ambasaka tusak usaka asukupukongo sakapasa.